this is what was so hard to play against them. What do you say about the best players though? That's what they do, they cheat very well. One of my favourite memories ever. I remember having a bit of a tear in my eye because it had been quite an emotional week. That was going to change my life forever. This is one of my favourite ever games for England. It was in the 2014 Six Nations, England versus Ireland at a packed out Twickenham. To set the scene, this was our third game of the tournament, lost to France but then beaten Scotland, so this was going into our third game. The title was wide open in this championship. Everyone had lost one up until Ireland. They hadn't lost one yet until this game. But yeah, the title race was wide open, chance to win a Six Nations. And yeah, it was a special week for me personally. And then any time you get to play England, just looking at the stadium here, seeing it full on Six Nations Day against Ireland, brings back some really special memories. So let's fly into it. The ultimate leader, Owen Farrell's gonna kick us off. Look at that. I miss that feeling. That's the one feeling I miss the most, I think. When you've, just before kickoff, there's 80,000 people at Twickenham. You're about to play in a massive game. Owen gets us going against a brilliant team in Ireland. These are the days you miss. Miss those boots as well, actually. They were some naughty boots I had there. White and orange Nike Tempos. Yeah, we get an early scrum here. Early scrum against the Irish, battering away at the line. Billy Vunipola, who was massive back then, metaphorically and physically. Tried a little snipe, got absolutely rejected there by big Devin Toner. Probably not the person to run into on the line. And yeah, a couple of offloads nearly go to hand. Billy 12 trees to Johnny May. Did he score in the corner is the question. Is it a try? That's a fresh-faced Johnny May. Is that Peter O'Mahony trying to take his hair off? And he drops the ball. What a tackle from Conor Murray. Just dislodges the ball. Yeah, Peter O'Mahony pulling his hair out. Conor Murray comes in with a last ditch. Knocks the ball on Johnny. He'd have been gutted with that. Oh, that's a good tackle. Good nous there from Conor Murray on the line, going for the ball. So we were always really aware of Ireland. His good friend of the show, Jack Noel, what a boy with his famous scrum cap. We're always wary of Ireland from all over the pitch. Especially players like Jamie Heaslip. That's why I was trying to be all over him like a rash at the back of the scrum. Any young nine out there, don't let these eights get any head of steam against you. Get right into them. The Irish are always such a brilliant team to play against, so smart with what they do. It was a real tight test match, which we knew it was going to be. Even me making some tackles there, which is a difference. Yeah, there's some massive efforts from the forwards. Owen Farrell just doing what Faz does, just leading by example. Wasn't the captain back then, but kind of was with everything he said and the way he led the team about. I've never played with someone as more dominant and with his voice and his actions. You just want to follow him. There's this fresh-faced Courtney Laws. So yeah, 23 minutes in the clock. First blood to England. If there's one person you want kicking the ball over the post at Twickenham, it's probably Owen Farrell. Stood there and watched him do that thousands of times. And yeah, after 29 minutes, only 3 points on the clock. It was one of those games that wasn't going to be a high-scoring affair, but there's Mike Brown doing what Brownie used to do, just a rock at the back. And people used to give him stick about his speed maybe, but the feet that he had, and the one thing I loved the most about Brownie was the fight. He never got tackled by the first man. Always would beat the first man and make some yards for the team and put his head down into contact and make yards after contact. And Owen just giving us a bit of breathing room. Brian O'Driscoll playing in one of his last ever test matches, I think his last ever game at Twickenham. There's a lot of talk that year about Ireland trying to win the Grand Slam. Annoyingly, we'd lost that first game against France, which meant the Grand Slam was off the cards, but certainly after a Six Nations trophy still. I don't think I'm too happy with that decision there, but by the referee and the officials. And you could see Brownie on the floor not happy either. It's not like Brownie and me to be moaning at a referee. But if that's not killing a ball from 5 of the Irish players, I'm not sure what is. Peter O'Mahony could not be lying on that ball anymore if he tried, I don't think. What do you say about the best players though? That's what they do. They cheat very well. Peter O'Mahony is one of the best at it. If you're interested in a nice Instagram to look at, go on Peter O'Mahony's Instagram, check out his lawn, his garden. If you're into your garden, you're into your lawn, Peter O'Mahony's lawn is spectacular. I need to know his secret. But yeah, we thought we could have had a penalty there, it didn't get given. And yeah, you're playing in the second half and it's such a tight game. It's 3-0. 3-0 in an England versus Ireland game, which I still think the fans would say it was a really exciting game for a 3-0. And against Ireland, you just don't want to give them many opportunities to make you look silly. I think I put a good kick in there and no one's gone and got it. And yeah, Ireland. So this is right. We're going to stop it. This is what I love about Ireland. This is what was so hard to play against them. You'd prep all week to say, I think Joe Schmidt was a coach at the time, such a smart attacking coach. So they'd always have these little intricacies and trick plays and loads of moving parts where the 9 would pass to a forward, there'd be a fake dummy switch, a couple of lines off the forward, an inside ball to someone. And we'd said all week, watch out for Rob Kearney running an inside line off a set piece play. Lo and behold, 2 minutes into the second half, I'm sure they said at half time, right, let's try one of these plays. And if you just look at the subtleties, right, not many people would see this, but the rugby gnaws in me is going to slow this down for you. So Conor Murray throws the ball to Jamie Heaslip. You've got dummy runners left, right and centre. Sexton running a dummy line, Conor Murray running a loop play. So right, if you just look at the top of your screen, one of the best players that ever played for Ireland, unbelievable warrior for them and Munster, Paul O'Connell. The subtlety, what he does is he stands up from the ruck, and they'll have practiced this all week. This is the difference between scoring a try or not scoring a try. So he stood up from the ruck, and Dylan Hartley's coming around to cover the Jamie Heaslip. Joe Launchbury should be covering the inside ball. This is something we talked about all week. If they run this play, Joe Launchbury, you're on the inside ball. However, Paul O'Connell and Pete O'Mahony, zoomed in here, just stand in the way of Joe Launchbury. Just block him for half a second, which means, and it's not Joe's fault at all. Joe's trying to get into position, but he can't because there's 2 massive Irishmen stood there. Looks like it's not deliberate, but it's absolutely deliberate what they've done. They blocked Joe from the inside, from getting to the inside ball for that half second, go straight through under the sticks. And sometimes there's not a lot you can do but applaud, really. That was a wonderful try they'd obviously seen in training. Maybe it's something that you work on. And I think they're made even more special when that comes off, that something you've worked on so hard in training comes off. It means a bit more. And yeah, fair play to Ireland. They got us with that one. And we're 7-3 down thinking, right, we need a bit of magic. We need something from someone to spark us, to get us going. Unbelievable take from Billy Twelvetrees. I think that was straight off the restart to get us going again, get us in the opposition. Tom Wood, the workhorse, out to Johnny. No try on that occasion, but we're in their half. We're creating some problems for them. Yeah, that's nice. Any scrum halves out there are just... Sometimes you have to play the game a little bit. And if you've got a big forward that hasn't rolled out the way, you might just happen to trip over them. Obviously, you're not meaning to trip over them, but if you do trip over them, penalty. So yeah, just a nice little play. So again, one thing that I wanted to kind of make my own or make my point of difference was the tempo that I like to play the game at. And that year, Stuart Lancaster and the coaches had said to me, be yourself. If there's opportunities to quick tap like I've been doing for Quins throughout my career, then go. And as a team, we're going with you, and we've got the license to make those decisions. And the other 14 will make it a right decision, whether it's right or wrong, because they'll back me up and support me. So I think it's something that the Irish were aware of a little bit, but just a way to create some momentum in a game that I felt needed a bit of a spark. Thought maybe if we could just play a bit quicker, we could cause the Irish some problems. And it doesn't end up in a try here, but we've at least got the ball in their 22 and we're on the attack. And we struggled to find a way through. And Big Luther Burrell had a brilliant year that year in the Six Nations. Even me clearing there. DC's clearing. DC reacts to DC's clearing. It's a good clear out. And then we're on the line. Brownie going for a little pick and go. A penalty advantage, so here we can try something. I got the ball stuck there. That is a terrible pick and go effort. I didn't want to do that, but I've done it. And yeah, we just kind of got a bit lost there. We end up coming back for the penalty. 6-10, you take that, you give yourself a chance. We're just one score behind now with 25 minutes to go. And coming up now is one of my favourite memories in an England shirt. Almost like it's the Quins connection here. Faz throws a wide ball to Chris Robshaw. Robbo throws an offload to Brownie, and here I'm screaming to Brownie to throw me the ball. Brownie does unbelievably well for this try. He gave me one of my favourite moments ever, not just in rugby, in my life really. This moment of running in from 22 metres out, Brian O'Driscoll and Johnny Sexton chasing me down. When you know you've scored in a massive game to give your side the lead against Ireland, was one of my favourite memories ever. I remember having a bit of a tear in my eye because it had been quite an emotional week, knowing that I was going to be a dad for the first time. That was going to change my life forever. And yeah, I kind of felt like that try was for Jodie and was for the little baby that was in there at the time. So yeah, that was a really special feeling. And yeah, we one of the only games I think I played 80 minutes. Brownie gets man of the match, deservedly so. What he did for that try was unbelievable, but his stuff around the park, his high balls, and we've got just try and stop Ireland from scoring. They could pull a rabbit out of anywhere. Just needed one moment to get the ball back. And the lads here do unbelievably well. Turn the tackle into a maul. I think we held Gordon Darcy up here, which Gordon Darcy, one of the best players to play for Ireland. Big Joe Launchbury, 80 minutes in, what a shift from him. And we won the game. You can see what it means to Lanny and to Big Faz and the other coaches and to all us boys on the pitch. We thought we could maybe do something special that year. We obviously lost out to France in the first game, but you can see how much it meant to the lads. That meant a lot to us. That we'd beaten a proper good team in Ireland at home, and we'd given ourselves a chance to try and win the trophy at the end of the championship. Unfortunately, did we? Unfortunately, we didn't. We got pipped, but that game meant a lot to me personally, but also meant a lot to that group of players. So yeah, it was a special feeling when you win at Twickenham, especially in a massive game against a quality side like Ireland.